$25 billion. One morning, one company. $25 billion. That's how much value was created in a single day. On Wall Street, most days look the same. Screens flash numbers, traders shout orders, billions move quietly, routinely. But once in a generation, a single day arrives that forces Wall Street to pause. Not because of a war, not because of a crash, but because money moves so fast, it rewrites history. This is the story of one company from halfway across the world that walked into New York and in one single day created tens of billions of dollars. No overnight miracle, no lottery ticket, just one moment where preparation met opportunity. This is the story of Alibaba and the day Wall Street never forgot. September mornings in New York are sharp, the air is cool, the streets are loud, and the New York Stock Exchange stands like a cathedral of capital. On September 19, 2014, reporters gathered early, camera crews set up, analysts whispered predictions, bankers adjusted their ties. Something unusual was about to happen, because this wasn't just another IPO. This was the largest IPO Wall Street had ever seen, and the company wasn't American. It wasn't European. It was Chinese, a name many Americans had barely heard before. Alibaba. Wall Street has seen big companies before. Facebook, Google, Visa. But Alibaba was different. It wasn't just a tech company. It wasn't just e-commerce. Alibaba was an entire economic ecosystem. Millions of sellers, hundreds of millions of buyers, payments, logistics, cloud computing. In China, Alibaba wasn't a company, it was infrastructure. And now, for the first time, American investors were being invited in. The question wasn't, will people buy this stock? The real question was, how big could this get? At the center of this story was a man who looked nothing like a Wall Street billionaire. No sharp suit, no cold stare, just a small man with a wide smile. Jack Ma. Years earlier, Jack Ma was an English teacher. He applied for jobs and failed, applied again and failed. Even fast food restaurants rejected him. Out of dozens of applicants, he was the only one not selected. But Jack Ma had something Wall Street respects deeply: conviction. He believed the internet would change commerce, not someday, immediately. And he believed small businesses deserved access to global markets. That belief became Alibaba. Alibaba didn't start in a skyscraper. It started in a small apartment in Hangzhou. No venture capital, no powerful connections. Just belief, persistence, and a deep understanding of people. Jack Ma once said, "Customers first, employees second, shareholders third." Wall Street didn't understand that philosophy at first, but results speak louder than words. By 2014, Alibaba was already processing more sales than Amazon and eBay combined. And yet, most Americans still didn't realize what was coming. When Alibaba announced its IPO details, analysts went silent. The valuation was massive. IPO price set at $68 per share. Initial valuation, approximately $168 billion. Banks adjusted their models. Traders recalculated expectations. This wasn't hype. This was scale. For Wall Street, this IPO wasn't just about profits. It was about trust. Could American investors trust a Chinese company with this level of capital? The answer would come soon. As the opening bell approached, tension filled the room. Orders stacked up. Demand surged. Institutional investors wanted in. Retail investors wanted in. Everyone wanted a piece. Some feared missing out. Others feared overpaying. But one thing was clear: this stock would not open quietly. Jack Ma stood calmly. No panic, no rush. Years of rejection had prepared him for this moment. Then it happened. The opening bell rang. Alibaba officially entered the New York Stock Exchange. The screens refreshed. The price jumped, then jumped again. And in that moment, Wall Street realized this wasn't just a successful IPO. This was something bigger, something historic. And the real explosion was just beginning. The screens refreshed, and suddenly, the numbers didn't behave the way Wall Street expected. Alibaba was priced at $68, but it didn't open at $68. It opened near $92. In seconds, traders froze, analysts leaned forward, phones lit up across Manhattan. This wasn't gradual growth. This was instant wealth creation. In less time than it takes to brew a cup of coffee, Alibaba's market value exploded. Over $20 billion in value, created instantly. Wall Street had seen rallies before, but this was something else. By the end of the trading day, Alibaba closed above $93. Market capitalization surged past $230 billion. The company had gained roughly $25 billion in one day. Let that sink in. Not in a year, not in a decade, in a single trading session. To put it in perspective, that one-day value jump was larger than the entire market value of many Fortune 500 companies. Wall Street wasn't just watching a stock rise. It was watching history being written live. This wasn't hype-driven chaos. This wasn't speculation alone. Alibaba represented something powerful. Access to hundreds of millions of consumers. A digital economy growing faster than the West. A business model built on transactions, not just traffic. American investors realized something important. They weren't buying a company. They were buying an entire economic future. For Wall Street, this IPO was a message. The center of gravity in global business was shifting, and it was shifting fast. That day wasn't just about Alibaba. It was about globalization. For decades, Wall Street believed innovation flowed one way, from west to east. Alibaba proved the opposite. A company built in a small apartment in China had just dominated the most powerful financial market on Earth. This wasn't luck. This was execution at scale, and investors around the world took notice. As cameras flashed and headlines exploded, Jack Ma remained calm. No victory speech, no celebration on the trading floor, because to him, this day wasn't the finish line. It was validation. Years earlier, he was told he wasn't good enough, that his ideas were unrealistic, that he didn't belong. On this day, Wall Street gave its answer, without applause, without words, just numbers. Here's the part most headlines didn't explain. Alibaba didn't win because of timing alone. It won because it understood small businesses. It built trust before profits. It focused on systems, not shortcuts. The IPO wasn't the success. The IPO was the result of success. Wall Street rewards preparation, and Alibaba came prepared. Not every story ends perfectly. Markets change, regulations shift, competition grows. But that doesn't erase the significance of this day, because September 19, 2014, proved something timeless. A single day can change perception forever. Alibaba didn't just raise capital. It changed how Wall Street looked at the world. This story isn't just about money. It's about belief. It's about what happens when long-term vision meets global opportunity. Wall Street isn't impressed by noise. It's impressed by scale, by systems, by execution. And on that day, Alibaba delivered all three. Wall Street opens every morning. Stocks rise, stocks fall. But very few days are remembered. September 19, 2014 was one of them, because on that day, A company from across the world walked into Wall Street and left with billions created in hours, not by chance, but by design. If this story made you think differently about markets, intelligence, or discipline, take a moment to like the video. It helps this story reach others who value depth over noise. If you enjoy long-form documentary-style stories about finance, history, and ideas that quietly changed the world,